and welcome. Hi, Jana. Good to see you. Hope all went well today. Let's zoom out just a tiny bit here. Um, so today I'm going to do some no-line watercoloring and also some stenciling. And what I'm using is this lunar paste that I've never opened. And I'm using a stamp I've never used. I'm using a stencil I'd rather not use, but I can't find my favorite tonic snowflake stencil. Searched extensively for it. And I'm going to start with gesso. So I'm going to use my Tim Holtz watercolor pencils, which I almost never use. So shame on me, I need to use them. But I find that if you gesso the paper first, and this is some Simon Hurley paper, let me get a brush here that I'm willing to get gesso on. I don't know what I always do with those dang brushes that are made for this. We'll use this one. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Hey, Lori. Hey, Michelle. Hi, Maddie. Let's see if I can even open this. I haven't used this clear gesso in years. This is Finnabair. And I'm just going to put a thin coat. I only need it where I'm going to stamp and paint. So I don't need the whole page covered, but since it's clear, I won't be able to tell it's there once it's dry. So I'm just going to pretty much cover everything. I'm going to set that aside to dry. It won't take long to dry because I'm just putting a super thin coat. And I did bring in a bucket of water back behind me to put my brush in. Hey, Abraham. I came in halfway through my explanation. How's that? That's weird. I don't know. I'm confused now. Let me just clean off my brush here. So if you missed it, or I'm going to be using the pink lunar paste, Tickle Pink, which was exclusive to scrapbook.com. So that's something I've never used, and I bought it back last spring, and here it is fall already, so 6 months ago. It'll still be good. I'm not worried about that. And I don't want to leave my brush in the water because I don't want to ruin the glue, but I do want it cleaned off. Okay. So we're going to set that aside, and now I'm going to do my background, and I'm going to be doing some ink blending first. And I'm going to do a sort of a snowy background. My snow's going to be pink, though. Oh, you bought it too and haven't used it yet? Tisk, tisk, tisk. Get one of these. And I like to. I guess I don't really. Yeah, I will need one for my stenciling, so I'll just set it aside for now. And I'm going to brush on sort of like a sunsetty-ish. And I'm going to come in with High Tide first, because I think I have a Simon Hurley. Where are my Simon Hurley brushes? The world may never know. They could be anywhere, but they're, oh, here they are. I do have one for High Tide. I got you. And I didn't realize that because I like to, make sure that I'm not wasting time at all. Your time or mine. I've got this just as a dab off because I want to go light with my colors, but probably I'm fine with this one. And I'm coming in on because I'm out of Simon Hurley Stark White, so I'm coming in on some Bristol Smooth. And this is a pretty light color. I did go a little heavy right there, but it'll be fine. It'll blend out nicely. Okay, good to know. I will from now on give it a little bit before I start yapping away. Or just yap away until I start starting. Okay. Now I want some pink And the only pink that to me is a good true pink is Prom Queen. So I'm going to come in with my dye ink pad because I don't want my ink heavy. And I'm going to, load up my brush, but then I'm going to brush off because, like I said, I want it really light. Because I want the snowflakes to be the dominant character here. And I'm only coming down about this far because I'm going to make a little hill. Hey, Jesse. Hi, Paula. Just kind of mixing these together so that I have a very, very light, faint background color, because even though our snow is going to be pink, and I know that's going to be weird, and I'm curious to see what happens. But these two colors are very nice together, and they play well too. All right, we're ready for our stenciling. Do I need more stamping and blending paper? I do, but I don't want you to ship that. It's too expensive. I've been getting by with Hammermill. It's not as good, but it works. Okay. So I'm going to lay this down right here. I'm going to grab my stencil. And I'm so sad that I lost my tonic stencil because that's my favorite one. It's here somewhere. Obviously, it didn't grow legs and walk away. Stencils don't do that, do they? Let's go ahead and open this for the first time. And when I first open these, because they get jumbled around, tamp them down first to make sure the lunar paste all, goes down there. That is a really pretty pink. It's almost iridescent, isn't it? Yes, pink snow. So I wonder if I say Simon Hurley 3 times if he'll show up. Kind of like Beetlejuice, right? Simon Hurley, Simon Hurley, Simon Hurley. At least it's not yellow snow. I don't want it too thick because I want it to dry, within a few minutes so I can use it. Should be by the time I'm done with the watercolor. See, I don't like these snowflakes because they lift. And again, I don't need to go all the way to the bottom. They, the little tendrils or whatever, they'll be okay. That's pretty. I'm going to just put this right in my water bucket. I'm going to pull this off and let it sit over here to dry. There's some spots that are kind of thick and funky, but it'll be okay. And yeah, that gesso paper is almost dry enough to use. Okay, so water, clean up the stencil, clean up my little mat. Hi, Chow. It's also very difficult to clean this one because of the tendrils. You can't really rub at it because there's so many delicate little pieces. You just kind of got to dab at it, which is why it's got gold glitter all over it. There's where it went under, you can see. And that's good enough because C is for cookie. Yep, items growing legs. Let's put this kind of where you guys can see it. Paper towel, please. Thank you. I'm on high stink bug alert. It's bad this year. It's bad, bad, bad. Still hot, which is kind of actually normal for Alabama this time of year. We have that Indian summer. It doesn't seem to really get cold till almost Thanksgiving. And even sometimes on Thanksgiving, it's, maybe 60, 65, which is comfortable. Okay, so we've got our piece, we've got our gesso. I'm going to give that a little shot with my heat tool here for a minute. Just to make sure. And I'm going to grab my stamp platform. I got a little bit of lunar paste on there, but you can't really see it. Well, I want to be careful. Don't stick my lid in it. And then I'm going to do the reindeer from the Christmas Hug stamp set that was just recently released. Which is why I'm going to do Snowy Hills, because he only has the top half of his self. I'm going to stamp him down a little cookie dough. So remember, I put clear gesso, transparent gesso on this page first. You could put white too, it doesn't matter. I couldn't find my white, so I just did my transparent. It doesn't matter. And I just want to make sure I get this dark enough where I can see it. You may not be able to see it, but I need to be able to see it. Really give this a push. I wish cookie dough came in the stellar. I know that all of them are getting converted though, so just go ahead and give that a good push right there in the middle. And see, move that aside, move this back where it goes. And so I'm going to go dry to wet here on these. And I want the deer himself to be vintage photo. That's why I selected these, because I thought vintage photo would be a good color for the deer body. And so because this is no line, the lines are going to disappear. I'm going to start by just drawing my lines. So I'm just drawing right over the lines and kind of tracing around like this little bell, because the bell's, not going to be vintage photo. And this way I'll have my lines back so I can see what I'm doing. And I'll start down here, and then I want to give his body some shading. So I'm going to color. Where shadows need to be. Hey, Blossom. So a little heavier, for instance. And then I'm going to grab my thicker brush here. And I like to just get my mat wet. Let me grab another paper towel here. dab off my brush. Oops, see, my brush wasn't clean. All right, let's clean your brush. Glad I brought some water in. I'm just going to start moving this out towards the middle. So I don't know if you've ever tried using the Tim Holtz pencils for watercolor, but I highly recommend, if you ever run into problems with it, to gesso your substrate first. I'm just going to bring this water over here. Change my mind about the water on my mat. I'm allowed, right? Do the same thing, just take the tip of the brush, move it along the very edge here, and then just kind of spread this out. You just get a much smoother blend if you had prepped your paper first. And you're not stuck with just one coat either. And the reason I use these instead of, usually I use my Derwents, is because these are water reactive. And so if I want to do stuff with them afterwards, you know, all I need to do is just add some water. If I feel like they're not blended out enough or something like that. So the gesso will prep the paper to receive color better. So let me give you a comparison. Let's grab a piece and don't gesso it, just so you can see the difference. So I'll just set this right here for a second. And this is just straight up watercolor paper. And I'm going to draw the line, and then I'm going to do the coloring like you saw me do a second ago. Only I'm being a little sloppier, but that's just because I'm in a hurry. Now, if I get my brush wet, dip it. You see, the blending just isn't as good. I've got a solid line there that's not blending out without going outside of the line. So do you have to gesso? No. But does it help? Yes. Let me zoom for you guys so you can see what the heck I'm doing anyway. See, I've got a little pilling here, and that, I don't know if that's from my gesso being wet or because the paper's pilling. It happens. So now I'm going to get the arms. I mean, this is a fairly easy piece to work with. I did the stack snowman for Trinity, and they were so tiny, but I did those with my Derwents, and I really liked the way they came out. And I might get quiet because I'm focused here. There's a lot of artists on YouTube that show you the comparison and even compare different brands of gesso. So that's too harsh of a line, so I need to blend that out a little. And I'm going to do his hands a different color. Hands or hooves, I guess. And you might not have an issue with them. You might be that skilled. I'm not. I'm losing it here, though. Again, I'm not too worried about the hooves because I'm going to do those in a darker color. It's just something different to do. You don't have to go through all this. You can do, your thing. All right, so we've got a mouth here. So we need these little dimples. I'm going to come up. I'm just going to come around the outside of the mouth, the outside of the nose. I did a little sloppy there. Outside of the eyes. Little eyebrows. Little funny hairs. I just kind of like the different look of the no line watercoloring. Just for something different. Okay. Whoever said I could follow a line. And we'll do the antlers in antique linen. Okay, and so it's gonna have some shading in here. Definitely gonna be shading up here. I almost was gonna do this in pencil tonight, and I decided it takes too long because I like to do lots and lots of layers of color pencil. Okay, so he's going to be lighter there, so he's going to be darker around here. I may be making an evil reindeer. Hi, Irma. I'm making, well, I'm using stuff I haven't used. For instance, my pink lunar paste. And I'm doing the brand new release from Simon Hurley, Christmas Hugs. So I hadn't used this yet. I haven't used the snowman or the Santa. I've used this, but you guys won't see that until next month. Because I, am on the ranger team and they schedule what gets posts when. So I'm just going to come around the edge of this. So we still want our edge lines. I'm going to blend it into the face. Just do that line exactly. Oops, I keep trying to dip there because that's where I'm used to dipping. I don't use a super wet brush, and I do not like water brushes, and you can't talk me into liking them. I've tried to like them. I don't. I just feel like they give me way more water than I really want. So out that line a little. Yeah, aren't those cute? They're adorable. I think so too. But these pencils blend very nicely. Be a little darker there because that nose is poking out from his little face. Needs to blend. Any harsh lines you can just blend out with just the brush, you know, barely even wet. This I want lighter, so I'm going to get it quite wet. I'm going to wet first right here, and then I'm going to pull it up. I'm trying not to muddy up those lines too much because they're part of the stamp design. Could have probably given some shading to the little hairline up there or whatever that might be. Let's get this filled in where I wanted it darker. Keep that little eyebrow. Around his little eye. It doesn't matter if I get to the inside of the eye because I'm going to do those black. I just kind of like to do something different with the, you know, my designs with the stamp sets, just to stay valid, I guess. Hey, I hit my 4K today. Really, I didn't get the kit, so I couldn't tell you or compare. I mean, I have a Tim Holtz one, but the water does not behave as you're describing. I don't know, maybe I do something wrong. It could be. You know, I'm not opposed to saying that I may be broken. Let's get this a little softer down here and soften out these little dimples. Thank you. Yeah, I was excited. Oops, I forgot to add a little bit of shading here. All right, let's get our ears going. And I have the coordinated dies for this, so I will die cut this out, obviously. But what we've done here is bought time for the whatchamajig to dry. You know, that other thing that I just did earlier. Words are hard. The other cool thing about doing it this way is you don't need to have a super steady hand. It helps, but it's not necessary. Okay, so let's see. Those arms are dry. I need this. I need a little bit darker up here. Just a little bit. It kind of got sloppy on me there. I think this one's okay. Blend those out a bit. Okay, so let me hit that with the heat tool. Hey, Pam. Oh, thank you. That's really sweet of you, Maddie. I'm always really nervous about it. See what my heat tool's doing? Oh, you guys can't hear it. It like slows down to almost a stop. Come on, wakey wakey. And then it comes back. Nope. It's almost dead, Jim. Hey, Peggy. Okay, so let's do the inside of his ears. What do we have here? Do I want Kitsch Flamingo? I think I do, just because. So I'm going to come dark here. And dark here, even darker. And in fact, I think I will even throw in just a wee bit of picked raspberry just right here along the ear line. Oops. I want that to happen. And we're doing a red nose, right? Because that's it. It's going to be Rudolph. It's always going to be Rudolph. In my book, anyway. I didn't get my old people nap today. You know what happened is I laid down and I closed my eyes for a little while, and then I opened my eyes and there was a stink bug on the ceiling. So there's no way I'm sleeping with that guy. So I got up to kill him and started looking at my room and mentally rearranging it. And then it just got deeper and deeper, like, okay, so here's what I need to do. And is this going to be too overwhelming? So, yeah, let's blend that out a little bit. And this guy. I may need to add more depth. And oh yeah, he's got a tongue inside of his mouth. I think we're going to go with the picked raspberry. Darker and then a little lighter right here. Yeah, me and stink bugs. That's right. Okay. So red nose. I've got barn door and I have candied apple. I think candied apple is the ticket. So I want to leave a little white space here. And then I'll come around the nose. And spread this in. I may need to do a couple of coats on the nose. We'll see. Yeah, candied apple was a good choice, I think, don't you? Yeah, the stink bugs are ridiculous this year. I'm gonna just kind of clean that up right there. The clean brush. Okay, eyes. I do have black soot. You know, I kind of want to do my own thing here with the eyes. I'll leave a little white space. That's probably not a good spot for them. I may have to add the white afterwards. And then do speckled egg or any of these gray. I'm going to need antique linen. Hickory smoke. It's not sharp though, and I don't know where my Prismacolor is. Let's do white. Let's see if this is even going to work out. Get a super dry brush and just fill this in, leaving that little white space. I think I'm going to have to fill in the whole thing. I don't know. I might use a white pen. Hey, Di. Yeah, I know what you mean about reserving the highlights. And so go right about here. Gonna go right about here. Fill in. Now, Di's somebody that could teach us something about watercoloring. She's an actual artist, you know, trained and stuff. I think Elizabeth is too. I think she went to art school. I do like that though. It gives them some depth, doesn't it? I just feel like I need to round this one out a little bit more, and I better not mess with it too much or I'll break it. Okay, the inside of the mouth. I don't necessarily want it red, but I don't necessarily want it black either. I have to think that through a minute. Let's do brown. I know I had the walnut stain crayon just a second ago. Wait, what's this? Yeah, that one. And I may mess it all up right about now. Hi, Maritza. Nope, I've always had my live stream at this time slot. Let's see. I think we're going to be actually darker back here. He doesn't have any teeth. Rudolph, where's your teeth? I only have the first 3 sets of the watercolor pencils. I didn't buy more because I don't use them enough, as you can see. but well, actually, I guess scorched timber is the darkest brown, but to me, it's kind of almost a green brown. Okay, we really need some depth back there in the back of his throat. See if I can kind of work that out. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfectly real. It does kind of look like Pikachu, huh? I love Pikachu. Okay, so the collar. Let us do the collar. It's of course going to be darker across here because I love Pikachu. Um, that's where our shadow is going to be. And then we're going to come around the bell. And then we're going to come dark on the very sides. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. Sometimes I think my head might get in the way. You guys don't need to see my uncombed hair. No, I just have the first 3 tins. I had 2 of the first 3 tins, but I gave one away, I think, with my 2,000 subscriber. Or maybe 1,000, I don't recall. I would like to do a giveaway with this one too, but I just can't. My life is very much different now than it was back then, financially. I was thinking I'd ask for a sponsor, but I don't have the nerve to beg. I just don't. I know lots of people do. I don't. Not for myself. For somebody else, yeah, no problem. Let's just kind of blend that out a little bit better. So far, so good. Let's go. Okay, we got to do the antlers, and I decided I'm doing those in antique linen, and then we'll do the hooves and the bell. And then any touch-ups we need on him, I may do in pencil. Now let's think about this. I want it darker. Why does that look green? Along these edges right here. Just kind of come lightly, and then I'll blend it all together. And this would be a fun one to do the full page in watercolor. That I'm not going to do. Dark around right back here. Color in a little bit. Get those done. Yeah, I have the Prisma set, and I have the Inktense, all of the Inktense colors, unless they came out with something new in the last couple of years. The last new set that I knew, they had the pink in there, the flamingo color. It's not enough colors. Neither are the Prisma colors as far as I'm concerned. So the cookie dough ink, even though it's water reactive, it really isn't being moved by me much. And I'm okay with that because of the colors I chose to use here. It's moving just a tiniest bit, just softening maybe a little, but it's not, definitely not going away. I haven't met an ink yet that completely disappears. There's probably one out there, but I haven't met it. Okay, the hooves need to be black. Okay, so, and they are definitely delineated quite fiercely there, so I'm going to do the same. I would like, for Simon Hurley to see this and recognize that it's his stamp. So, because you can certainly change up a stamp to unrecognizable. Okay, if he's out like this, and those would actually be, gosh, I don't know. I'm not going to go too realistic here. That'd be crazy. Oh my gosh. Blossom wants to know, does anyone else cook pizza rolls and top them with heated nacho cheese, shredded cheddar, sour cream, ranch, green onions, tomatoes, and serve with a side of tater tots covered in Lori's? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. That's way too much cheese for me. I like cheese, but I don't like a lot of cheese. Well, let me just put that differently. A lot of cheese doesn't like me. Okay. Oops, see, I keep dipping in that because it's just a habit. Just a habit. Because that's how I normally do it. And this, I'm not going to do much other than just go around where I just colored in. But friends, I tell you something, I'd rather do this than alcohol marker color. I don't like it. It's not for me. And it's probably because of my lack of a steady hand or something. Like, I don't mind on a bigger picture, but on those teeny tiny things, no, I don't love it. I still want this gray. I just don't want it completely black. Get that line fixed right there. Inktense have 100 colors. I wonder how many I have. I'll have to count them. Actually, I have them sitting out right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 8 is 40. No. Yeah, 48. But I don't quite have that many. So 48 minus 4 is going to be 44, 45. Nope, I don't have nearly all of them. Thanks, Die. Are they tiny hearts? Kind of. They're kind of, oops, that's too wet. So wet, please. They're heart highlights. As if there's an end. You know how a horse or an animal has an indent inside of their hoof? And that would actually be pink. Oh, we gotta do the bell. Okay. The bell, the bell. Let's do the bell in ice spruce. I think that's going to be a good color for it. So we'll get the outlines. So just having this set worked out just fine. I had every color I needed. Abraham, are those watercolor pencils or just regular color pencils? The Caran d'Ache Pablos that you're talking about. I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, World Card Making Day this weekend. Now, let's check on, because this does not look like it's dry. But it's dry enough. We'll give it a little help. Give it a little help. And I'm going to use my other heat tool because it works. Thank you. Put it on right here. My background's kind of messy because my stencil is loosey-goosey. The reason I want this dry is because I have to trim it down. And so I want to make sure that the edges are dry before I put it in my trimmer. Abraham. Oh, thank you, Irma. Oh, thanks, Paula. Be safe. Okay. So I'm going to trim this down. I'm going to trim it on either side, and I want to trim it to, I'm going to trim it to 3 3/4 by 5 because that's kind of my size that I like to do. And we'll give it a GinaK border. I need a little snowy hill. I need to cut him out. Just making a mental inventory. Let's move some stuff out of the way here. So my snowy hill. This is going to be, you know what? I could probably, I don't know if I want to use watercolor paper for that though, but I think I will. It needs to be about yay high. I can just watch this. And I'm not going to make it too hilly of a hill, just a little bit, like so. I'm going to cut that out with scissors. If you have a hill die or you prefer to use a die, go for it. But this super simple cut. Okay, so my snowy hill needs to be trimmed down now to 3 3/4. Thank you. Yeah, I love the pink, huh? It's crazy. So, glitter haters, look away. Because I'm about to do something. Okay. So what am I going to do? Whoops. Dang it, Bobby. It's okay. I'm all right. I probably should have cut out my hill before I did this. I'm going to take some double-sided tape here. I'm going to tape it down. I'll take my scissors and cut just here. Grab my cutting mat here, grab my knife. Just going to trim that excess away. I get a part of the hill, no big deal, because it's not a crucial bit. Pikachu. Oh, that I have an even bigger double-sided roll, the one from scrapbook.com. Wait till you see that one. That's a monster. That is 6 inches. I bought that a long time ago. They last for years if you know. But I used to do a lot of 3D crafting, making boxes and books and things like that where, I've used large amounts of it. I don't do that so much anymore. Okay. Now I've got this stuff all stuck to my fingers. Before I do that, I need to remember, and it's too late now, but I should have remembered that some of the snow, some of these colors would be reflected in the snow. But you'll see that in a later episode of life. I'm going to pull this back and I'm just going to set it right here to the side because I'm going to need it again in a minute. I'm going to take my rock candy glitter, if I can find it, right here. And I'm just going to dump the crud out of it on here. And I'm going to take back this little piece here and I'm going to push. Really want to push that glitter in so it does not move. My tweezers. I don't want glitter all over this mat. Too late. And then just tap that off. And there I've got instant glitter paper. Makes a world of difference. Oh, snap. Listen, when you spill that kind of stuff on here, it is a nightmare to try and get off. So that's why sometimes people are glitter. Oh, rock candy hasn't? No, I've had this one for years. That's crazy. Shame on them. I'm sure there's probably something similar. This is a clear glitter, is all. And you guys, before I do anything, I'm going to kill this glitter spot before it spreads all over my mat. So here's how I kill it on my mat. Hand sanitizer. I'll rub that on there. Just kind of the same way you clean up a spilled egg. There. Ta-da! Over here, there's some, but I'm not too worried about that. Okay, we need our GinaK border. So I'm going to grab, it doesn't necessarily have to be black, but I think black would look good, don't you? It would really make that pop. I'm going to grab a piece of black cardstock. I'm not using my expensive black cardstock. You know what I think I'll do? I'll use my mirror because it's nice and black too. And I'm going to smack this in the middle and then trim off versus trying to aim because I want to use my tape runner. Because mirror cardstock, it takes forever for it to dry. Glue to dry on it. Oops, I just got A little bit of a mess going there. Because I'm using the thinnest border, the mirror cardstock will be just fine. Yeah, Abraham collects craft supplies. I used to as well. So what I want to do is I want to go about that much beyond. Yes. Oh, you little stinker. Go about that much beyond. And that much is probably just a little over 1/8 of an inch. And when I say beyond, I'm going beyond my guard here. And this mirror cardstock's cheap at Michael's. Well, I mean cheap compared to my beautiful black cardstock that I love so much. That needs to come off just a hair more. There we go. All right, now we can cut out the little deer. Okay. Tell you, what did you do with the dies? They're going to be in here somewhere. Better be in here somewhere. You don't know any people with self-control. Ah, I hear you. Come on. Yeah, I was trying to do that without anything else falling out, but that was not a possibility. Set that up next to my magnet. I'm going to have to trim this down a little bit so it fits on my cutting machine. I'm just trimming off the edges here. Let's grab some mint tape. Oh, yeah. I end up getting free stuff from my friend Chow because she buys it 2-3 times. And so she'll send them to me sometimes. You know, it depends. If it's a consumable, you know, you might as well keep it because eventually you're going to need it again. Him in a couple of spots. Oops, don't knock over your coffee. So I'll be live again tomorrow morning at 9 Central. By myself. I'm going to finish up that Christmas journal. Don't need this anymore. Get that out of the way. Yeah, that's me. Fun control. Hi, Chow. Oh my goodness. All right, let's put this card together. And I have some sentiments that I made last year that I didn't use. Let me pour them into a. And I think these are all foiled. These are Simon Hurley. I made a lot. And see, I've got a pink one, so that'll pull it all together. Love, love, love it. Okay. Season's greetings. And I foiled these on Cricut vinyl that's stuck to paper. Okay, so let's get this on a card base first. We'll put this down onto a white card base. I'm going to use liquid glue for that. It as even as I possibly can. I'm going to be popping up my snow and popping up my deer. So snow needs to be a little bit higher than reindeer. So I'll grab some higher profile. Come here, you. There we go. Almost out. Hmm, that scrap happened to fit nicely, almost. I'm really going to rub on this so that when you do it this way, you can see that it stays on, you know, as long as you rub it off really well right afterwards. It works on any color paper, which is kind of cool. Any kind of glitter you want. It really looks neat over a stamped image. Glue. There's a little hairy piece right there I don't want sticking down. You know what I want to do before I put that on there? I want to add a little bit of highlight to this guy. And let's grab, I bought these pens, these Milky Pops, because I was not having any luck with those others. This is, see, it already quit working. It's garbage, just maddening. Really need a decent pen. I do have a Caran d'Ache white pencil. Yeah, this is a Pablo. No, they're permanent color. I don't know if they're water reactive though. I kind of want to just fix that right around the edge of the eye. And then I can take my, I can do a Posca with, if I can find my Posca, my white Posca. Where are you, mister? Somewhere not here. I have, trust me, I've marked my hands up and it'll do really, really nice until I put it down on paper. There we go. This is just the, these Ohuhus are a little bit more translucent than I wished. And I don't like the way that worked out. Just let that dry for a minute. Get just some little white dots here and there. A little white around the nose, a little bit of glossy on the tongue. Definitely we need some glossy on the bell. Get these little spots a little bit better. Add an extra spot. Okay, let me get my black pen because I screwed that up a little bit. Yeah, I like the Poscas too. There we go. That fixes it. I love these too. And let's grab one of these carpet bellows here and come around this outside edge a little bit more, just to give it a little bit more definition. Oops, missed. Missed. Dang it, Bobby. That did not work out on that side because I went so deep with my pencil. It's okay, we'll just all right. I feel better about the eyes though. They feel a little bit more alive. Okay. That's funny, Pam. Have your husband get her with the leaf blower. Okay, so I want a lower profile foam tape for that. So I want him to look like he's jumping out of the snow from the back. Pika, Pikachu. Now you got me broken thinking about Pikachu instead of this being a deer. I did crochet a bunch of amigurumi Pokemon years ago. Gave them away to people at work. Those were fun. I like doing that with crochet, but I don't crochet anymore either. Thank you. You're very, very kind. Da 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 da. I think as long somebody told me if you go under 8 seconds, you can sing a song. I don't know how true that is, but I've not had any strikes against me for all my crazy singing. It's the part that takes the longest. We'll tuck right here. So, oh my gosh, that's so cute. I can't get over it. So if you look at, oh, we'll talk about that in a minute. I'm getting squirrel moments here. Need to not do that. Need to stay on task here, T. I know what's the matter. I'm hangry. I'm not angry though. Just the hub part. And yes, I'm putting glue on here so I can slip it where I need it to be. And not have it stick before I'm ready. Okay, I want him centered. Let's slip him down in here. See, I got to cover up all that uckiness on my pink snow. I like the pink snow though. Now, where'd my sentiment go? There we go. And I think I will pop up my season's greetings right about there. It will be a very poppy little card. All right, guys, I did it. I used my pink lunar paste. So, oh, what I was pointing out was that when you look at the stamp like this, look look for other things. So look how the same, come here you, the same but different that is. And my snow looks a little yellow in my camera, but it's really not in real life. So guys, I hope you liked the video and thank you so much for spending your time with me. I'm gonna go make myself some dinner of some sort and see you back tomorrow morning, bright and early, 9 o'clock Central. Don't forget to leave me a thumbs up and all the YouTubey things. Take care. Yep, Team Pink. Bye. Where's my mouse? Here it is. Okay. Giving everybody. Thanks for the reminder to kind of hang out for a minute before I get started going forward. Oh, hi Nima. Bye Nima. I didn't see you come in. I don't remember if I saw Teresa come in or not. Maybe you guys were lurking. Take care. Bye.